Imagine a place where the sky is a ceiling, where the stars are just reflections of lights below, where the ground isn't earth, it's another layer of city, another roof, another lie. This isn't a planet. This is a wound in the world, a scar that never heals, a city that swallowed everything and kept growing. Buried in the heart of America's forgotten crust, a mirror of Coruscant waits. Towers that stab upward until they forget where down is. Lights that burn so bright they blind the dark. A billion lives stacked like credits in a vault. Tonight, the city breathes, and it knows you're listening. The surface is the first deception. Fog clings to cracked concrete like smoke after a fire. A single elevated lane slices through the haze, blurred streaks of speeders cutting the night, their trails glowing electric blue and crimson. The air vibrates with low-frequency hum, not wind, not machinery, something deeper, like the planet itself is exhaling. What if the clouds above aren't clouds? What if they're just the underbelly of another level? What if the stars are just distant windows, someone else's lights? Step closer. The upper city opens like a wound. Spires rise in perfect, merciless symmetry, obsidian and chrome, reflecting the glow of 1,000 moving rivers of traffic. Bridges arc between towers, thin as spider silk, carrying streams of light that never stop. Holographic billboards pulse overhead, selling immortality, power, escape, their colors bleeding into the fog like ink in water. The wind here is engineered, cool and metallic, carrying the scent of ozone and overheated circuits. But look closer. A single tower leans slightly, not enough to notice unless you're falling. A crack runs down its side, thin as a hair, glowing faintly from within. The city pretends it's perfect. It isn't. Deeper now. The mid-levels swallow you whole. Walkways swarm with shadows, crowds implied by shifting silhouettes, footsteps echoing in endless corridors. Neon signs in unknown scripts flare and die, casting fractured rainbows on wet metal. Markets spill across platforms, stalls of glowing tech, voices overlapping in 1,000 tongues, the smell of street food and burnt wiring thick in the air. A massive holoscreen towers above, broadcasting news of wars on distant worlds, its light flickering across faces you never see. The press of bodies is everywhere, lives stacked on lives, dreams crushed under weight. One wrong step, one loose railing, and you fall for minutes, hours, forever. Why do they build upward when the real gravity pulls down? The descent quickens, lower levels strip away the shine, rusted girders hold up sagging platforms, emergency lights flickering red like dying stars. Speeders scream through narrow canyons, dodging debris that rains from above. A forgotten plaza opens. A shattered statue of some long-dead hero, its face worn smooth by time. Graffiti covers every surface, symbols of rebellion, names that mean nothing, warnings in languages no one speaks anymore. The hum is louder here. Mechanical hearts pounding behind walls, engines that never sleep. Danger is everywhere. A spark from a loose wire, a collapse of metal, a whisper of uprising in the dark. The city pretends it's stable. It never was. At the very bottom, the truth waits. Vast chambers roar with the thunder of colossal engines, gears the size of buildings grinding like the teeth of fate. Dark corridors branch into infinity, lit by sporadic crimson emergency strips. A single hover platform drifts in the void, scarred, ancient, still functional. Blueprints cling to walls, designs for impossible levels, endless expansion, cities on top of cities. The air is cold, heavy with the smell of metal and oil. A faint vibration runs through everything. The city breathing, waiting, hungry. Something stirs in the shadows, a light, a pulse, a promise. The core isn't dead, it's waiting for someone to wake it. What if this wasn't fiction? What if beneath our own cities, a mirror world thrived in silence? Towers that reach for the stars from below, lights that burn eternal. The upper levels hoard the view, the mid-levels grind the machine, the lowers hold the fire. What if America hid its own Coruscant, a monument to ambition so vast it had to be buried, a testament that says we can build forever. We can never stop. The camera hesitates. A single light in the abyss flickers, defiant, alive. It brightens, pulling upward. The levels rewind in a rush. Undercity engines quieting, lower alleys fading, mid-level chaos dissolving, upper spires vanishing into fog. Back to the surface, the chasm seals. The fog rolls in, but the hum remains, a promise that the infinite is still waiting. All drawn from the spirit of Star Wars, a dream of endless height, a nightmare of endless fall. Yet some cities feel too alive to be mere imagination. Which level would you claim? Which shadow would you fear? Which light would you follow? Tell me in the comments. And if another world of endless towers rises in your mind, one hiding somewhere beneath America's skin, speak its name. The next transmission is already pulsing. This is Phantom Frames USA. Never look down.